Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to show you how to create this absolutely over-the-top gorgeous card. You can see that it has many layers, many beautiful, much beautiful height to it, and the stamping is very minimal. There's a little bit of big shot use. I'll show you what I did. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I was inspired. Whoa, excuse me, all that noise is my punches there in the background. I had them all on top of my book. If you turn to page 17 of our 2013-14 annual catalog, you can see this really awesome card. I really wanted to create that card, but I didn't have all of the stamp sets. So I decided to use what I had, and I had gotten a beautiful bookmark from Rhonda Wade in the mail, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to base my design off that bookmark. So this is what I came up with. Just love it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now I did go ahead and pre-layer some things, and I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, you have to share the measurements. So guess what? I will share the measurements with you. The first thing we started with was a base cardstock of Strawberry Slush. It's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we'll set that aside. The next layer is Basic Black, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we'll set that aside. The next layer is the Strawberry Slush piece of the, whoops, cut it upside down, the In Color Designer paper. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That's just 1/8 smaller than the basic black piece. And then for the center layers, we have a piece of Whisper White paper that is 3 1/8 inches by 4 3/8 inches. And then going over the top of that is our basic black again at 3 inches by 4 1/4 inch. And so like I had mentioned, I have gone ahead and I have this lovely piece already started for you. The inside of my card is very easy. It's just a 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch white panel. I do not put adhesive all over this white panel. I think your more elegant cards don't need it. So I just put adhesive at the top. And then here is a little strip of some of that Strawberry Slush pattern paper to kind of bring the design into the inside of the card. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you about this card. I used a die called the Fun Flowers die, and I used Coastal Cabana cardstock. I cut out a flower that looks like this, and then I cut out a flower with our patterned designer paper in Coastal Cabana as well. And then I used 2 stamp sets on this card. One is the Flower Shop stamp set with the coordinating pansy punch. And then one is the round array stamp set. And I did use a couple of punches for this, and I'll show you that in a second. So let's go ahead and start building this card. So the first thing I did is I already went ahead and I glued down my main flower. The reason I did that in advance is because it's very hard for me to make sure this flower is on straight when I'm looking at it sideways for your benefit. And so I went ahead and put that on first because everything depends on this flower being on straight. The next thing that we're going to do, and I'll put the original back in the picture for you, is we're going to build this banner right here, this white banner out of Whisper White. It's a 1 inch piece by 4 inches, and then all I did was I took the 6-sided punch, I think that's called the hexagon punch, and I just inserted the bottom of that banner piece and made sure that it was even on both sides before I punched it out. And then that leaves me with a really nice looking banner. And so take your bone folder at this point, and you are just going to give this Whisper White paper some texture. Actually, if you do this enough, it almost feels like fabric when you're done. It has this nice linen-y feel. And I'm just not gonna do that over and over, but you can get the idea. In fact, you can already see that it's starting to texturize beautifully. I have a piece. Oh no, I don't have a piece. Okay, so I will do this a couple more times. I thought I had a piece, but I don't. So then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this card back into the picture. We're going to put this down about where I think it needs to go. And then taking a paper snips, we're going to snip off this top part. There we go. And now we are already going to start layering with dimensionals. So I'm going to take a couple of dimensionals. We're just going to put that here, right at the top of our banner. We don't want dimensionals all the way down the banner because we want this to be nice and loose and flowing. So then you're going to line it up. I'm just going to put it there. I'm going to turn it this way to make sure it's actually lined up straight. I think that looks pretty good. There we go. So that's going to go there just like that. Then the next step is I use the itty bitty banner framelets, and I cut some of those really nice swirly banners. And then using glue dots, we only need a couple here. We're going to put these kind of, how does that look? We want it up about like this, I think. Very cute. So then we just glue that together with a glue dot, and then take another glue dot. We'll just set that right here, right over the top. Doesn't that look cute already? Now we're going to finish it up with some flowers, but I think first we need a ribbon. So I have some Whisper White ribbon here. And let's see, here's my ribbon scissors. I'm going to cut that at an angle. And then I think we're going to put that on a dimensional. Give that ribbon a little bit of looseness. So we'll put a dimensional right here. Tack that ribbon over the top. Make sure it's centered. And then we'll just trim it off. There we go. And then I think the next step would be to add this flower piece right here. And so I'm going to do that. I do have some, I want a bigger dimensional for this, so I have some, I think these are shaker adhesives for making shaker cards. I'm going to use this kind of fat one in the middle because you wouldn't really use that on a shaker card anyway. So we're going to just set this in right there. I'm going to pull that adhesive off, and then we can set this flower right over the top of that. And that bigger piece of adhesive there gives it a little more stability. Of course, I think I should have oh yes, I needed to double that. So I'm going to just, yes, learn as we go. I'm just going to take a little bit of that adhesive, just a little bit more. I'm going to set it. I'm sure you can't see what I'm doing. I'll turn the camera. Whoops. Well, we'll just take that all off. See, this is truly card making in action. Now I can't even get the adhesive top off. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is raise this dimensional. There we go. Because I forgot, we have that first layer under the banner, so we want the second layer to be tall too. So let's go ahead, put this flower back on. Oh, there we go. Now it has some nice stability and it's nice and even. You can see that. Beautiful. All right, next step is the flower. Where'd she go? Here she is. Now this flower has some words on it, so you want to make sure that your words actually go the right direction. And so we did that. I'm going to use another one of these centers from these adhesive rounds and put this on here, just because I want something bigger and better. All right, so here we go. Make sure our words are right side up. Put that right in the middle. And ta-da! Very nice. All right, and then I have punched out with the 7/8 inch scallop circle punch a little piece of strawberry slush, and now just using a regular dimensional, we're going to put that right in the middle of this flower. Just like so. And now the only thing we have left to go is this thank you. I've gone ahead, I've stamped it with Stays on Black onto a piece of Whisper White scrap, and I'm going to take a 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to line it up the best that I can. I may have to do this off camera so I can get straight on it. We'll see if I can do this right here. Because this is probably the trickiest punch of the whole works, because you're trying to, oh, I did a good job. What you're trying to do is line it up so that it's even all the way around. And I think we did it. We did a good job. All right, so now another dimensional. And then we're just going to pop this thank you right over the top and in the center. Beautiful. And there's our over the top thank you card. And we'll get the original back in the photo. There we go. Aren't they gorgeous? I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great day, and thanks so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.